get caught up. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. The temperature, it's a little warmer in here than usual. I think we try to mitigate that as much as we could. According to the Planning Act 1990, as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. Before I get into my introductory remarks, I just would like to I'll be your chair today. Also, my fellow panel members. On my far left is Natalia Popovic. On my left is Laura Alderson. On my right is Rick Ross, Bill Dalton. I'd also like to introduce Barbara Bertozik on the far left and Barb's staff in front here. Barb's the this Committee of Adjustment section. The Committee of Adjustment considers applications for variances from provisions to the zoning that apply to property or alter lawful non-conforming uses and consents to sever property to create new lots. Land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is traditional territory of many nations, including Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to Inuit and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Our procedure this morning, adjustment public hearings are conducted in hybrid in-person. Some applicants and participants will make their submissions in person, while others will participate virtually by electronic means through WebEx, an online digital platform. The meetings are also streamed on the City of Toronto YouTube channel, and anyone wishing to view the hearing may watch on YouTube. Those who want to participate virtually and have registered in advance will be connected with smartphone or telephone and have the option of participating via video or audio only. All virtual participants will automatically. When your item is called, you will be unmuted by the moderator, one person at a time. Those participating by video are rated to panelist. When your item is being held during this time, your camera will be enabled. You will only be visible during your 5-minute allotted speaking time. At all other times, your video will be disabled and you will be reinstated as an attendee. And the virtual participants, Committee of Adjustment staff will share presentations submitted in accordance with the written submission deadline. Those participating through WebEx are not allowed to use share screen or any other panelist controls during a video appearance. People attending in person today who want to receive a copy of the decision of the committee, and those must fill out a decision request card, and those participating virtually need to submit a written request for a decision by email. Please ensure that you include your name, address, and email address, as the Committee of Adjustment and the Toronto Local Appeal Body will be sending notifications and appeal updates by email. If you do not agree with the decision of the committee, you may be able to appeal the decision to the Toronto Local Appeal Body, or in some limited circumstances to the Ontario Land Tribunal. However, as the provincial government amended the Planning Act and generally removed rights of third parties to appeal Committee of Adjustments, only the applicant, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, specified persons and public bodies are permitted to appeal the Committee of Adjustment. The appeal instructions are set out at the bottom of the decision. Each item will be called out in order listed on the agenda. When you make your submissions, where an application is uncontested, the agent or applicant will proceed with their presentation. When the committee does not require a presentation, the applicant is advised to advise the chair should they wish to speak to the committee. The committee may ask questions and or take the matter into the committee for a decision. Each speaker, including the applicant, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee. I will comment when you're reaching your 5-minute mark. Any presentations or other material you wish to submit, as I'd mentioned earlier, have been emailed in advance of the hearing. We are not able to accept materials at the hearing today. When addressing the committee, please Clearly state your name and address. Please also remember to confine your remarks to the matters outlined in the application. The applicant or agent, as I mentioned, will proceed first. We'll make a presentation to the committee, and the committee may decide to defer the application if it is substantially revised, as we will not, as I mentioned earlier, entertain revisions today. Then individuals either in support or opposed to the application will be invited to speak. Generally, we first call on speakers in the hearing room and then those participating through the online WebEx. Committee members may ask questions of each speaker and then after they have finished their presentation. When all speakers are finished, the applicant has an opportunity to rebut, but only those issues that were raised by the previous speakers. This will mark the end of the discussion. The application will then be taken into committee for a decision. That concludes my introductory remarks. Our first item on the agenda is I'd like to ask if any panel members or staff have declarations of interest on any of this morning's agenda items. I believe you have one.
Yes, I have
Dalton.
a conflict with item number 5, as I am currently working with the architect of record on that file, and that this may be seen as a conflict, so I will remove myself from that item.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. We will ask you to leave when we get to that item.
Mr. Chair, before
Yes.
you go any farther, we've lost you on the camera. I think your computer might have gone to sleep. If you just want to try and wake it up.
Signed me out for some reason.
Yeah, I think that's what's happened to us there. So I think if we sign you back in, it'll reappear. Sorry for the interruption.
No worries.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Perfect.
Okay, thank
That
you.
solved the problem.
Don't know why that happened. Okay, our next item is confirmation of minutes from the previous hearing, which would be the hearing of November the 6th. If I can get a motion from someone who was at that hearing preferably.
I'll move a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton.
And I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson. All in favor? Okay, the minutes from the previous meeting are adopted. Madam Secretary Treasurer, I'm assuming we have no files to be closed,
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
and we do have some deferral requests.
Yes, for the morning session, items 6 and 11.
Okay, so if we could deal with those two before we get to the top of the agenda. So the first one would be item 6, which is 627 Albion Road. And let's see who is the applicant. Okay, is the agent online for item 6?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. This is Manpreet Kohli. Address is 66 and Mount Drive, Brampton. And this is regarding 627 Albion. We have been asked by the planning, we may need to get a zoning review certificate done before we can proceed with this application. So we seek the deferment. And we will get the zoning review done and we can come back with the recommendations.
Okay, thank you. So you're asking for a deferral to get a new zoning review? Sorry, just confirming, because you were cutting out at one point.
Mr. Chair, they muted themselves. Sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
we are seeking deferment.
Thank you. Is there anyone online or in person with regard to this item other than the applicant?
No, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So we'll take it to committee for,
I'm happy to make that motion. If they need to get a zoning review done, they need to get a zoning review done, so I move for a deferral.
thank you, Ms. Alderson. Seconder.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. All in favor? Okay, item 6 is deferred. Then item 11, I believe, is also being requested to be deferred. Agent is online.
Hello, Ed Broders here.
Good morning, sir. You're looking for a deferral,
That's correct.
and the reason for that deferral?
We also need to get a new zoning review.
Okay, thank you. And again, I'm assuming there's no one else present or online for this item.
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Committee members?
I'm happy to make that motion. The second one for this morning, for a request for deferral, to have a zoning review done, and happy to make that motion for deferral.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson. Mr. Ross, thank you for a seconder. All in favor? Item is deferred. Okay, that's it for the deferrals for this morning. Okay, so go back to item 1 on the agenda then. So this is 16 8th Street, and this is an application to enclose the existing front porch, and there are 2 variances being requested. We have no comments from city departments. And Amir Kamal is the agent.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, sir. I don't think we need a full presentation unless you're wanting to do it.
Nope, I'm here open for any questions.
Perfect. Any questions from panel members?
If no one has any questions, I'm prepared to make that motion too. I believe this is a straightforward application. It meets the 4 tests, and I move for approval with no,
Before we do that, can I just double check there's no
Yeah,
one else to
sure.
speak to this item?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you.
with no conditions.
Okay, so Ms. Alderson has put a motion on the table.
I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All in favor? Okay, this is unanimous approval. Thank you, sir.
For this next item, there is an area resident virtual.
Okay, perfect. Item 2, 31 BEAUCOURT Road. This is an application to construct a second-story addition above the existing dwelling, 2-story front and rear additions, a covered front porch, and a deck in the rear yard. There are 7 variances being requested. TRCA has no objections, but has advisory comments. Ravine and Natural Forestry Protection has advisory comments. And there is a support petition with 3 signatures. And we have an area resident online as well. And David Engelman is the agent. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Committee. David Eagleman, Associate and Registered Professional Planner, 87 Skyway Avenue, Suite 200, and from Design Plan Services, Inc.
Okay, sir, if we could get a presentation from you, please.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, I didn't intend on providing a presentation because I wasn't aware of any comments or concerns from anyone until this morning. But we did consult with planning staff regarding this application. They raised no concerns or objections. We also worked with TRCA staff on this, and the TRCA has actually already issued a permit for this at this point. So we've worked with them, made revisions to the proposal, and satisfied the TRCA. I'm not aware of any comments or concerns from any other city departments. And most of the variances are a result of the unique lot shape. The rear lot line is on quite a steep angle relative to the house. And so the rear yard setback is just a pinch point on the north side. And it's actually maintaining an existing condition. The existing rear yard setback is already at 8.14 meters. And we are maintaining that existing condition. And then because it's a pinch point, the rear yard setback increases as you move further south along the rear wall. And so the rear yard setback is also, the variance related to the encroachment of the rear deck into the rear yard setback is a result of the rear yard setback variance. And again, because of the unique lot configuration, the FSI and the coverage are both very minor increases from what is permitted. In the case of the FSI, it's 35 square meters or 377 square feet. And in the case of the lot coverage, we are seeking a 2% increase, or 10.67 square meters. The variance is related to the setback of the stable top of slope. Those are entirely TRCA related variances, and again, we've satisfied the TRCA. It's also a bit strange that there's two variances, 6 and 7, that are related to the setback to the stable top of slope. The reason for that is because one is when the stable top of slope is on the lot, the other one is when the stable top of slope is not on the lot, which I don't necessarily understand how that interpretation makes sense, because in this case, the stable top of slope is on the rear lot line, so I would consider it to be on the lot. But anyhow, that is what the zoning examiner identified, and out of an abundance of caution, we're seeking both variances. And then again, the height is also a very minor increase of 50 centimeters. So in my opinion, this is a good application, minor variances, and the proposal fits in with both the existing and planned context and meets the 4-part test under Section 45(1) of the Planning Act. And I'll note as well that we did get a few neighbors' signatures in support of the proposal. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Eagleman.
Thank you.
I'm assuming there are no questions from panel members. Okay, if we can go to the area resident. Hello? Nader? Can you hear us?
Nader Gaspor? Nader, are you there?
Yep, I can speak. So no, I don't have any objection. The explanation was good.
Okay. Thank you
We have
very
your
much.
address, please?
It's 100 Bonnie View.
Thank you.
Okay, so I don't think we need to do, we don't need Mr. Engelman back for a rebuttal then. I'll take it to committee unless there's anyone else to speak to this item in the audience.
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
So with that, I'd like to move a motion for approval as the application is straightforward, meets the 4 tests, and there are no conditions.
Thank you, Bill. Seconder?
I'm happy to second that
I
motion.
think Rick might have beat you to it.
Okay,
Okay,
it's all right.
all in favor?
No competition.
Okay, that's unanimous approval. Thank you. Okay, item 3 is 33 Acorn Avenue. This is an application to construct a 2nd and 3rd-story addition above the existing dwelling and a 3-story rear addition. The altered dwelling will be converted to a triplex. Okay, hold on. Good morning.
Good morning. Actually, our request for my application, it's measure 2 point. First point.
Sir, can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Like this, okay? Oh, okay. So, good morning, everyone. Actually, my application, it's regarding to main 2 points. First point, to increase flooring by 4.5% from what zoning
Okay.
allowing me.
Can it, before you get into that, I have a couple of questions for you, which
Yes.
I'd like you to answer before you actually give us your explanation, okay?
Okay.
You've submitted a very old survey. It was really the original survey after the plan of subdivision. So can you confirm for us that no changes have occurred on your property since that time?
For sure, no changes. Why? Because also I support what I'm saying by photos. I send photos for all that area. So no
Okay.
changes. Just the only issue is shed, and shed should be removed. Why? Because the
Okay, so my next question is,
Yes.
the two adjacent houses, which are shown on that survey, are they unchanged from that time as well?
I did not get
Your neighbors, your
Yeah.
two neighbors, Have there been any changes to those houses? Because on your site plan, you're not showing the two neighboring houses.
My neighbors' houses, actually,
Have they put additions on? Is it the same
no,
as?
nothing. It's very old as it is in the survey exactly. They did not did any extension, anything.
Okay, because your variances have impact on that, and we'd like to see visually what that impact is. So that's why I'm asking you these questions. So I'm trying to go through your file now to see your photos.
Actually, photo attach it with the file.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. Hold on.
Yeah.
The right side and the left side.
I mean, there's a lot of trees, but it appears that they're the same as what they used to be.
And you did say you were removing the shed in the back? The shed will be removed?
Shed should be removed. Why? Because the extension will be in top of the shed, and it's old shed. No way to leave.
In order to accommodate
Yeah.
the extension?
Okay, yeah, there's extensive photos. Just want to come back to the variances. Yeah, because when you're asking for a length and depth variance,
Yeah.
we kind of like to see how that impacts the immediate neighbors, right? And that's why on your site plan, you're only showing your property, you're not showing the other two. So we're going to have to assume based on the old survey, so I wanted to make sure that the survey was still up to date.
Surveys exactly as it is.
Okay.
Actually, my neighbor, they have the old houses and they never change anything.
Okay.
They did renovation inside their house, but outside, no changes, absolutely.
Okay, understood. There is an objection from number 36. So I don't know if you had a chance to see that letter. Your neighbor at number 36, ACORN, has filed an objection letter. Have you seen it?
No. Actually, they are far away from my house and they are in other side of the
Yeah,
house.
they are on the other side.
And they are not even in front of me. Actually, they are about 3 blocks away from
Kind
me.
of kitty corner.
And she told me that it's better to leave the area and sold the house. I don't know what she mean.
Okay, I just wanted you to address.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so if you want to go ahead now and just give us a brief description of what you're proposing, and then.
My main issue to increase the flooring area for 4.5% from what zoning allowing me. Also to increase the third floor. Third floor I'm allowing for 70% by zoning, where I have to do setback 30%. So my request to increase this 4.5% for the area and to increase the flooring for third floor to be 100% in place of 70%. Why? Because this, I believe, will not affect anyone. Why? Because I have no neighbor in my back of my house. It's green belt area. This is number one. Number two, my area, it's very close to the subway station, and there is too many high rise in my area. And I believe my area, it will be like little bit more higher densities than normal.
Okay.
So I believe all this issue will support me. And my main target to make this house triplex to fit my big family and my all kids within this bad economy. That's
Okay.
it. So
Okay,
hopefully
thank you.
I will get some support from you.
Thank you. Any
you very much.
questions from panel members? No? Okay, and there's no one else to speak to this item, I'm assuming?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so I'll take it into committee for decision. Thank you.
Thank you.
So with that, I'd like to move a motion for approval, as I believe the application meets the 4 tests, and then subject to the environment, climate, and forestry, as well as the tree protection plan review sections.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dalton. Well, I think they're asking for a deferral as well, but are in the alternative.
Forestry ones.
Yeah, okay.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Povic. All in favor? Okay, you have unanimous approval. Thank you, sir. Okay, item 4, 95 Thompson Avenue. This is an application to construct a second-story addition above the existing dwelling and a new one-story side addition. There are 3 variances being requested. Ravine Natural Forestry Protection has advisory comments. TRCA has advisory comments. There is a support petition with 4 signatures. And David Murray, good morning.
Good morning, can you hear me?
We can now, perfect.
Awesome.
I don't think we need a full presentation, but if you want to just give us some highlights and
Sure.
open for questions.
Okay. So yeah, we're just seeking, basically the presentation that I put together. I tried to document decisions that have been made within, a very small vicinity close to our property, about 300 meters, on each of the variances. The biggest one is the maximum height, but there's been about 12 or more variances approved for what the 9.5 meters that we're requesting or more. 2 doors down, I think they're at 10.7 meters. So we're not trying to go, we're not trying to do, I hope, anything egregious. We're trying to design our house that fits with the fitting of the house and the neighborhood. We're using a designer that's designed many homes in the area, and so I think that it keeps the flavor of the neighborhood intact. And so the other 2 variances, I've done the same thing, just trying to show what we're requesting approval for, and prior approvals also very close to our house.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? No. And there's no one else to speak?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
So we'll take it into committee for decision. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sure. I just wanted to note that it looked like you had done your homework, and no,
Yeah.
good evidence was really provided, so that's really helpful. So it makes my decision easy to support your application because I believe it meets the 4 tests as amended, and there are no conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. Seconder.
Yeah, I'll be happy to second that. Great
Thank you,
job.
Ms. Alderson. All in favor? Okay, unanimous approval. Thank you, Mr. Murray. Okay, bye, Bill. So Mr. Dalton's leaving as he has declared a conflict on item 5. Item 5 is 5507 and 5509 Dundas Street West. This is an application to alter the development standards as outlined in bylaws 55-2021 and 56-2021 in accordance, to accommodate a 22-story mixed-use building. There are 9 variances being requested. Metrolinx has advisory comments. There is 1 letter of objection from a resident at 5511 Dundas West, and planning has provided a info report. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Excuse me. Eldon Theodore from MHBC, Registered Professional Planner on behalf of the owner.
I think just given the scope of the application, we would like a full presentation on this item.
I do have a PowerPoint if you would like the full presentation, absolutely.
That would be good, thank you.
So as noted in the description, the proposal is for a 22-story mixed-use building. If you go to the next slide, this is the subject land's location at the southwest corner of Dundas Street West and Shorecliff Road. Next slide. And so this is the proposed site plan. Zoning was approved for this in 2021 to site-specifically permit this proposal. The applicant is currently going through the site plan approval process. Going through that process, we identified some deficiencies due to the shrink wrap nature of the zoning that are being addressed through this application. Next slide. So the first variance being sought on lot coverage is simply about an error. It was the wrong number that was put in the bylaw. We're simply seeking to alter that. Nothing is changing in terms of the overall proposal and its massing. Next slide. Variance 2 relates to a matter as it relates to the main entrance. It's being moved forward in terms of meeting OBC requirements for fire path access. So it's a really small modification, 0.56 meters. Similarly, setbacks to the third floor, a building face is only be extended by 0.4 meters. The seventh level facing Dundas Street, it's only being pushed out by 0.6. And as well, the amenity space, it's making a small advancement to the west by 1.5 meters. It's still maintaining a 24-meter separation from the lands to the west. Next slide. Variance 3, as it relates to permitted encroachments, there is a column that needs to be shifted in order to accommodate the structural integrity of the building. So it's being slightly shifted, and that obviously triggers the encroachment provision. So we're just seeking a slight variance on this. Next slide. Variance as it relates to the minimum first floor height. This is simply about the ceiling mechanicals that need to be installed. We want to ensure that there's flexibility for that drop ceiling so that there is space. Nothing is changing in terms of the space that we're creating internally. It's just about how the bylaw is interpreted. Next slide. Variance 6, we are seeking a dropping of the canopies, and that's to respond to recommendations of the wind studies recommendations. And so in our opinion, this is desirable and appropriate. Next slide. Variance 7, this is simply about the short-term resident parking spaces. Of the 23 spaces, 7 need to be located in a space that is just beyond the 30-meter distance, but they're still in a secure location, and you can see through the red line, they still have access to the main entrance. Next slide. Variance 8, as it relates to non-residential biking spaces, of the short-term spaces, of which 7 are required, because of the design of the space of the boulevard that we worked through with city staff, we're only able to fit 4 short-term spaces within that boulevard. But again, we continue to provide and meet the requirements of all of the bicycle parking spaces on site. And next slide. Variance 9 relates to loading. This is a typical requirement where we're not requiring a type B loading space. Instead, it's going to be integrated within the type G loading space. So you have that shared relationship of loading, and that's a typical variance. And that's my summary of the variances we're seeking. It's really incremental changes to permit the built form that was originally approved, but with modifications to ensure that it's a livable building and a functional building as we go forward. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Any questions? No. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a planning report that basically confirms that most of this is due to errors that need to be corrected. So, and I'm assuming there's no one else to speak to this. So.
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So I'll take it into committee for decision.
Mr. Chair, unless there are any questions from my colleagues, I propose to move to approve this application. The nature of the variance sought is in the nature of housekeeping sweep to correct some minor issues. I believe it meets the 4 tests otherwise, and Metrolinx has an advisory.
Yeah, there are no conditions being requested. Okay, thank you, Ms. Popovic. Seconder.
I can second that.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson. All in favor? Okay, you have unanimous approval. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Get Bill out of purgatory. Item 6 has been deferred, so we're on to item 7, which is 14 Hampshire Heights. This is an application to construct a partial second-story addition above the existing dwelling. There are 2 variances being requested. Ravenna Natural Forestry Protection has comments and has concerns, and I think was requesting that we actually deny the application. So I'll get the applicant to speak to that. And the agent is online. Alan? Welcome back.
Yes. Good morning. My name is Ellen Abunalo. I represent the owner for this application. We have two minor variances for that, which is the maximum floor index. It's supposed to be 45%. We have it 54% of the floor area, and we have the maximum, the main wall height is supposed to be 7 meters, which is 70% of the total width. We have it 7 meters for 52% of the total. That's the two minor variances we have.
Okay, can you just, are you aware of the statement from, or the report from Ravenna Natural Forestry Protection asking us to deny your variances?
To be honest, no, I haven't received any letter from them.
It was posted late, to be fair.
That's why.
But,
Sorry, that was labeled incorrectly. It should be item 6. It was for Albion Road.
it's for Albion Road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, because I'm trying to picture how it affects this application, and it
Yeah,
wasn't
because I
working in my
haven't
head.
received anything. Yeah, that's
So
right.
I take that back. It's okay. No
I'm
worries.
happy to answer all questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Nope. And there's no other speakers?
Correct, Mr. Chair.
So let's take it into committee for a decision.
This is a very straightforward application. I move for approval with no conditions. I believe it meets the 4 tests under the Planning Act.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson.
I'll second that.
I think the entire panel seconded it. I'm going to give it to Natalia. All in favor? All in favor? Okay, unanimous approval. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I could ask for one clarification.
Yes.
Madam DST, so the urban forestry November 13th memo applies to?
To item 6, which has been deferred.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So we're on to item 8. I think we'll take a break after this one. So this is 8 through 26 Jopling Avenue South, and it is an application to amend the development standards as outlined in bylaw number 187/2022. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there are 7 variances being requested. And I have 2 agents listed. Which one do I have before me?
Good morning, sir. My name is Mike Dror. I'm a planner and partner at BOULEVARD. Mark Yagna from Tribute is available to answer any questions, but we figured we'd make it easy and have just myself present today.
Perfect. If you could go ahead with your presentation, we would like to hear it.
Sure. And good morning, members of the committee. Just for the record, my address is 3 Church Street, Suite 200 in Toronto, and it's BEAUCOURT Inc. Maybe I'll just start off by noting that there is no opposition, but I'm happy to do a presentation. Just kind of a couple starting notes. We did, kind of as part of our due diligence on this application, speak with planning staff, as well as the council's office, and confirm that they had no concerns of the application. I'll note there are no letters from or memos from any departments, but that is because this is a relatively simple and straightforward application. If you pull up the you've already put it up. If you go to the next slide, please. I'll just quickly go through some of these slides. So the site is located on the west side of Jopling Avenue South, in Etobicoke Center, between Bloor and Dundas. If you go to the next slide. There's a number of kind of stats here, but what I'll just highlight is that this is a site that is currently vacant, has been sitting vacant for some time while waiting to be redeveloped. There was a rezoning application from 2022. There was a minor variance application that this committee approved back in 2023, November 2023. So it's been 2 years since that application. And unfortunately, it hasn't been able to get out of the ground for a number of essentially market-related reasons. So the client tasked me with looking at some changes that we could introduce in order to make it more marketable and bring it forward. And the two that are kind of critical and part of this application are the reduction in the unit sizes, or removal of the minimum unit sizes, as well as the increased floor plates of the two towers. There are no changes to the building height, to the maximum unit count, to the maximum permitted GFA, or to the two kind of key community benefits that are part of the original application, which was a public space, a POPs at the south end of the site, as well as a community space within the building. Both are remaining as is, as well as the Section 45 contribution that was negotiated through the previous minor variance application. If you go to the next slide, just at a high level, this is a site that is in the Etobicoke Center in a approved protected major transit station area, being located just around the corner from Kipling Station, which has Go Transit, TTC, MyWay service as well. If you go to the next slide, just to highlight, this is a site that is in an approval or a context that includes a number of approved tall buildings, including on the subject site, of course, and that is not changing with the application. The height is not changing. Next slide. And actually, we can probably skip the next slide and go forward just because we're running out of time. I'll just get into the proposed site plan. It's very similar to the previous site plan that was in front of the committee 2 years ago. It's essentially a two-tower development with a 6-story shared podium with a POPs at the south end, which is on the right of the screen, and then a community space in the foot of the building as well as retail. If we go to the next slide. Variance number 1 is related to setbacks, and there are a number of setbacks highlighted in red, which are the changes. Effectively, there's two key changes that I'll highlight. One is that the podium is being shifted around in terms of how it's deployed in the site. Currently, it's a 2, 4, and then a 6-story podium. That's being changed to a 1-story podium at the street, and it's kind of a tall 1-story, and then a 6-story podium beyond. Some of the changes to the setbacks at the front are as a result of that, but the towers aren't moving closer to Jopling Avenue. And then the second key change from a setback perspective is the shifting of the tower, the south tower area B identified there, a little bit further south, and that's in recognition that the site to the south, which was previously a potential tower site, that's no longer the case because it's been recently approved with a park located to the immediate south of the subject site, so that the tower is being located a bit closer, given that there's no longer any tower potential on that site. If you go to the next slide, just demonstrating what the podium looks like, you can see that on the left, it was a 2, even a 4, even a 6-story podium. That's now shifted to essentially a tall 1-story, and then a 6-story podium beyond that, really kind of redeploying density on the site in a more efficient way to make the application more marketable. And then I forgot to mention that variances 2, 3, and 4 are all technical variances. There are no changes to height, to permitted projections, or encroachments, but because we've revised the diagram, we're just changing those variances to those provisions to refer to the revised diagram B. Next slide is about the proposed floor plate change. Essentially what's being proposed is for Tower B to be shifted a little bit further south and for both buildings to be enlarged by slightly extending them south while maintaining a 25-meter separation between the towers as with the previous approval. The key change is that the south tower has been reduced from 12.5 to 9.8 meters, again, because there is no tower to the south. And then I know we're running out of time, just quickly, the two final variances, 6 and 7, there is a proposed reduction in the minimum interior floor area, but while maintaining the unit mix completely of 10% 3 bedrooms and 15% 2 bedrooms, and actually doubling the amount of 2 bedrooms by providing 29%, so just shy of doubling. And I'll stop there and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Perfect, thank you. My first question actually had to do with the unit mix. So you're not eliminating the number of 2 or 3 bedroom units, you're just reducing the size of them.
That's correct.
Are you increasing the number of units by doing that?
There's no increase in number of units. Actually, on this slide that's on the screen right now, Mr. Chair, you can see that the number of, and actually, just to orient everyone, the 2025 proposal column, that's the current proposed unit mix. You can see it's 742 units. the maximum is 750. And then in 2023, minor variance, which is the third column, or I guess fourth column, had a 746 units. So it's actually a slight increase in number of units. What my client has done is essentially shifts a lot of the one bedrooms and turned them into 1 bedroom plus den, which has been permitted through the more efficient and slightly larger floor plates, and then actually increased the number of 2 bedroom units from 23 to 25 to 29%, which is about double the requirement of 15%.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the market is, so that makes sense. I mean, that's what people want. We're tired of the little condos.
That's exactly it, sir.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions?
I have a question. Speaking of little, at 28 JODPHUR Avenue, there's a tiny little bungalow. Was any consideration given to making that part of the assembly? Or were they ever approached? Because they're going to be surrounded.
Yeah.
Through the chair, it's a great question. That bungalow was part of another assembly, which is, and I'm forgetting the address on Dundas, but it's essentially one application that includes that bungalow will be turned into a park.
Okay.
So essentially our POPs will be located next to that park and then form a larger public space.
Good to know. Thank you.
Okay, and then just at one point in your presentation, you make the statement that your changes will improve the setback from the hydro corridor. Is that the towers being set back? Is that how you're doing that?
Essentially, it's minor changes to the tower setbacks. There's no variance required for that change, but essentially they're being slightly pushed back from the hydro corridor.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? No? Okay. And I'm just going to confirm there are no other speakers.
Correct, Mr. Chair. No other speakers.
Thank you. So let's take it to committee for a decision.
Sure. I'd like to move a motion while the application in the summary is very wordy because of the wording that you needed to incorporate in there. The application, I believe, is very straightforward, and based on the evidence provided, I think it meets the 4 tests, and there are no conditions, so I move a motion for approval.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Laura. All in favor? Okay, unanimous approval. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're going to take a break.
Okay, are we good to take a 10-minute break?
Do we need the break right now? Because we have 2 items with just 1 agent only, and then we have
Okay.
a big item. But if you want to take a break, we
I don't know.
If the members want a break, they can have.
Let's take a break.
We're gonna go? Okay, let's continue on. Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Chair has been overruled.
It was just a suggestion. It wasn't. Okay. So item 9 JODPHUR Avenue. This is an application to construct a 2nd-story addition above the existing dwelling. There are 2 variances being requested. MTO has advisory comments, and Forestry, I believe, has already issued a permit. I didn't see that, but okay. Mr. Cordero?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Good morning, Mr. Chair and
Good morning,
committee
sir.
members. I have no presentation other than the documentation that has been forwarded.
That's fine.
The 2 variances, as you're aware, one is the encroachment of the front setback, and the other one is the length of the building of the proposed facility. As we submitted in our application, the existing footprint of the building will not be changed, and we find that the addition and the reason that the setback is being challenged is we are extending the 2nd floor addition over the existing porch, right? And to utilize 2 of the building, 2 bedrooms for the applicant's children. We feel that the face of the encroachment equals the existing veranda, and it's an existing condition, and we don't see, or in our opinion, we don't feel that we are encroaching on the setback because it is a 2nd story, and the veranda itself is not being enclosed, right? The second variance, minor variance, is the length of the facility of the building itself. Again, we are not changing the footprint of the building. We are just extending over top of the rear existing roof that's there.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
We're good. We're good. Thank you.
Okay.
Any questions? No? No other speakers?
Correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay, let's take it into committee. Sure. Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Go to the other side.
Thank you. I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair. I believe that the application is consistent with the 4 tests. I note, for example, there are 8 neighbors in support, and I do not see any conditions.
Nope.
That's my motion.
Thank you, Ms. Popovic. All seconder?
second that.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. All in favor? Okay, unanimous approval. Thank you. Okay, item 10. 12 Matane Crescent. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but to construct a 1-story front addition to the existing attached garage. There's 1 variance being requested, which is a front setback. There are some revised drawings that were provided late, and it would be in our added materials. However, there are no changes to the variance that result from those drawings, from the revised drawings. And is it Salvatore? Sam, welcome.
It's good? Yep, Sam.
Okay, I don't think we need a full presentation. If you're open to just questions from the panel members.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Give me a chance to pull up the item here. Panel members, any questions? No? Okay. In that case, is anyone ready for a motion?
There's no questions. I'd be pleased to.
No questions, no.
To move to approve the application.
Thank you, Mr. Ross.
I'll second that.
Okay, thanks, Bill. All in favor? You have unanimous approval.
Awesome.
Easiest one yet, eh?
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Thank you, members. Perhaps a break now? Wonderful. 15 too much? 10?
10's good.
10's good. Maybe we'll get back then at 10:40.
Okay, and I just note that item 11 has been deferred, so we'll come back to item 12.
Item 12, which has area residents participating.
Okay.
Thank you. The meeting is in recess. We will return at 10:40.
10:40, okay. Somebody stole my.
I liked it in North York. I thought.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience. We will get started in a moment.
No one gave me a gavel today.
No gavel today, Mr. Chair. Sorry.
We're trying to be back.
I think we're back.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for the indulgence of the break. Item 12 is 44 Ambleside Avenue. This is an application to construct a new detached dwelling with a secondary suite and an attached garage. There are 3 variances being requested. Transportation has conditions of approval, or in the event of approval. Forestry has requested a deferral, or in the alternative, conditions 1 and 2. We have 11 letters of objection, and that's all we have. Okay, and the agent, I'm not sure if online or in person.
Mr. Chair, the agent is online, and 2 of the 3 area residents are present.
Okay.
We can check if Rob Lisi is here, but in chambers potentially? No? No. So Rob Lisi is not present at the call this time. The other 2 are present.
Okay, well, we'll sort out the other speakers later. Let's start with the agent for a presentation.
Good afternoon, committee members. Mr. Chair, my name is Paul Bansal. I am the agent for this application.
Good afternoon. Is it afternoon? Good morning. Still morning. Yeah, if we could get your presentation, please.
Sure. Through you, Mr. Chair. We're looking to rebuild a single-family dwelling from a single-story dwelling to a 2-story dwelling. We've gone through the building permit process to identify all the zoning deficiencies that are required. We're asking for 3 variances. Variance number 1 pertaining to the main wall height. We're looking for an increase to 8.75 meters, whereas we're required of 7.2. We're also asking for the front stairs to be just slightly wider, just to match the width of the front porch. So while the stairs required to be 2 meters wide, we're asking for 2.18 meters. And we're also asking for a rear deck variance. We're allowed to encroach into the rear yard setbacks. However, we are close to the left side lot line, where the setback is 1.45 meters. If that was, I believe the required is 2.5 meters from the side lot line, or 2.46, sorry. Those are the 3 variances we're asking for. We have read transportation's comments, and we're okay with those. We also just received an email from, I believe it was staff, regarding the urban forestry comments. Again, we're okay to go through the process. I think that was pretty standard. We also read through a lot of the letters of objections that we got for this application, and I just want to make it, bring it to the table that we are within all the setbacks. We are within the height limitation of the overall height. We are allowed to build a 2-story home. This is sort of similar concept to, and the design to, I believe it's 36 Ambleside. But even if you compare other new 2-story homes, all of which are different styles, we are probably a little bit less in scale in terms of the height, because ours is a flat roof. So if you consider a pitched roof, it does get higher. Our overall height is 9.33, so we are within the bylaw, which I believe is 10 meters. We're also trying to maximize floor area. I think we've done our best to kind of keep the scale down, be within the bylaw where possible. The variances we're asking for, I believe, are pretty minor in nature and more on the technical side. If there's any questions committee members have, or anyone else has, I'd be happy to try to answer.
Thank you. Any questions from panel members? No? Okay. Before we go to the area resident speakers, I just want to make something very clear. Having read some of the opposition letters, just want to clarify that the secondary suite is not up for discussion. That's something that's been permitted by the City of Toronto bylaws for over 10 years now. This is not something new. We're not here to discuss whether or not a 2-unit dwelling is permitted, because it is. The only questions that are at issue here are the 3 variances that have been posted, and we'd like to hear comments relating to those variances. Other comments, we may shut you down if you get into it. Thank you. Our first speaker.
We'll do Aaron D'Souza, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Actually, can we deal with people who are in the room first, as a courtesy?
Is there anybody in the room for 44 Ambleside?
No?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Back to Aaron.
Good morning, committee. My name is Aaron. I live at 45 Ambleside, adjacent to the subject property.
Okay.
As I can see within the application center for 44 Ambleside, and as you committee members can see, there are 11 unanimous letters of objection on file. Safe to say there is unanimous support from the neighborhood with respect to objections for this application, and I'd like to echo my concerns, which are: I object to the variance number 1, wall height being requested for reasons stated in the letter. 8.75 meters is a 21% increase, which is significant. I also object to the secondary dwelling. I understand your comments earlier. My concerns are around everything that's stated in the letter, which is really inconsistent with the rhythm of the street, and that's really around waste disposal congestion, which we see today.
Take it up with City Council.
Okay. Committee members, I just want to make this point. I moved to this neighborhood because of the charm and integrity of the street. And to be clear, while I look forward to older homes being renovated, responsible development should enhance and not erode the quality of life for those who live here. And what I'd like to specifically call out to the committee is that the submitted plans that I see shows 7 full and 1/2 washrooms. Okay, I repeat, that's 7.5 washrooms in a 3,400 square foot dwelling. While I understand the city doesn't cap bathrooms in a single family home, that many washrooms combined with the floor plan layout is a reasonable indicator that the building could be used as a multi-tenant rooming house. I repeat, a multi-tenant rooming house. Therefore, committee, this application, in my opinion, does not meet the 4 tests under the Planning Act. I request the committee refuse this application as it is inconsistent with the rhythm of the street as previously mentioned. And further, I ask the committee to treat this application as material concern. Thank you. I also want to make one comment. I think there was a call out for Rob Lisi. I've been asked to ask the committee to perhaps look under Mary Peroni.
Sorry, to look under what?
As Mary Peroni, as Rob is on the line.
Okay.
We do have a Mary on the line, actually, Mr. Chair.
Perfect. Any questions from committee members? No? Okay. Thank you, sir. Our next speaker.
Abin Mukhtar. Abid, go ahead.
Can everyone help me? Good morning, Mr. Chair, committee members. My name is Abid Mukhtar. I'm at 44 Ambleside Avenue, across from the proposed dwelling. My concern, and I highlighted it, mirrors what the previous speaker referred to, and it's the 21% increase being requested on the main wall height. I'm all for redevelopment and renovations in the neighborhood, most definitely. I think it'll improve the street. It's just wanting to keep everything within the guidelines. in terms of not having something look like it made. It's a two-story dwelling, and I get that, but at that height too, could it almost look like a three-story dwelling? That was our family's concern, being directly across from the proposed building. So regarding the main wall height is our I guess primary objection there. Being 21% seems more than minor being requested. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, next speaker.
We'll try the Mary Peroni person then. Mary, go ahead.
Lacey, this is Mary's husband. She unfortunately had a meeting, so I'm stepping in.
Can we get your name and address, please?
Robert Lacey, 42 Ambleside.
Okay.
Next door. I think I share the same concerns as the other two neighbors. I mean, I won't get into the legal basement, as you stated. We'll take that up with the city. But I think I just want to say on that note, the concern I have with two young kids living next door, and my neighbor who also has two young kids, we share the concern about, multi-tenants living at this dwelling, and the amount of garbage and noise and coming and goings and issues with parking that will arise. It's a narrow street, as someone else mentioned. A lot of families in the neighborhood, and there's no other legal basement dwellings on this street. So that is one of the concerns. The second one being the wall height, which I think everybody objects to. This does look like, visually will look like a three-story apartment with a flat roof. And also, I think many people beside and behind this dwelling have an issue with, because of the wall height, how high even the back deck will sit. I think it will sit 8 feet off the ground and just peer into everybody's yards, including the neighbor in the back that has a swim spa and two very young kids. So have an issue with privacy, and have some concerns about this application.
Okay, thank you. You're at number 42, sir?
Correct.
Do you know the height of your house?
I don't off the top of my head. It's a peaked roof.
Okay. Thank you.
That was my question as well.
Mr. Chair, there's one more area resident that's on my list that might not be on yours. Tyler Delaney.
Hello, Mr. Chair and committee members. This is Tyler Delaney from 53 Castle Bar Road, which is the street behind this particular dwelling at 44. We're actually diagonally adjacent, so not directly behind. But I would like to comment on that as well. But my wife, Ashley Dyzik, submitted a formal letter as per the public hearing notice. She's working today, so she's not able to be here. I just wanted to, express our concerns, which do echo some of the previous concerns regarding, the privacy issues of such a tall building, of 8.75 feet. I think it's 5 feet over what the bylaw states, which seems significant, especially when you consider that, the properties around, there's no coverage behind in terms of privacy. We are the family with the young child with the pool as well. Not to make any sort of accusations or anything, but just saying, there's a lack of privacy with a building that big. When the main floor and second floor are already above the height of the fence, it does raise some concerns, and it also obviously reduces enjoyment due to lack of privacy. I'll also echo concerns just regarding the question of the number of bathrooms, and I know that's probably not subject to any bylaws, but I will raise that the property is currently tenanted, and there are more people in there than I think people are comfortable with. I'm not sure as to the legality of that. Again, I won't raise that issue here. Simply that there's concerns that this property may be used as a rental rental property, and given the floor plan and blueprints of the property, it seems like it may be a rooming house. The owner, my understanding is the owner lives in Brampton. I maybe inquire as to their plans with this property. You know, that would be that would go to alleviate some of our concerns if we knew what the intention of this property was. But specifically, yeah, I'll just remain focused on the bylaws here, which is that, you know, this property is quite a bit taller than surrounding properties, is higher than the bylaw, does reduce privacy, especially if we're talking about a tenant property, which will have multiple people in there looking into our yard at all times. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Any questions? No? Okay. Any other speakers?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay, let's come back to the applicant then.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, thank you everybody for the comments. Yeah, we do understand that there are concerns here with the proposal. You know, this is a single family dwelling with possibly a proposed second dwelling in the basement, which is fairly common today. The owner is moving into this house. This is a joint family, so there's parents, 2 kids, and they're also starting their families. So this house is a custom home for their family and their future family growing. We do understand that there are some concerns with the privacy in the back with the neighbor that just spoke, the last speaker. The owner is more than happy to work over some sort of landscaping in the back, something tall, thin, narrow that, you know, could help mitigate anything. But ultimately, a 2-story home would look into the rear of most neighbors anyways. And again, we're within the overall height of the building. We're within the massing elements, the lot coverage, the setbacks. And like I said last time, previously in the original presentation, is that our overall height is more or less in line with the new developments. Because ours is a flat roof and other people's is a peaked roof, by the time you consider both, it's more or less the same. If anything, the sloped roof gives more of an impact than the flat roof. And we're probably on par or equal to or less than to the person across the street. I forgot what number it is. I think it's 45 or 41. Yeah, if there's anything else that I could try to help answer, I'd be happy to do so.
Do you by any chance know the height of the next door neighbor at number 42?
Through you, Mr. Chair, off the top of my head, I don't.
Okay, just trying to get a visual to see, you know, whether yours will be higher, lower, the same. Anyway, no worries. Thank you.
I have a question as well.
Yep, please.
So there seem to be some issues with respect to privacy in the backyard, which I fully understand, but your platform or deck in the backyard is coming off of it looks like it's coming off of the main floor. I understand that it's slightly elevated, but it's coming off of the main floor. Would you be amenable to putting in privacy screens if you're using glass on that platform? It's just a coating on the glass, really.
Mr. Chair, sorry, they muted themselves.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, we'd be open to do so. Not a problem.
So you're proposing frosted glass?
We could do a frosted glass. We could do would a screen slatted wall, like a lattice wall, be appropriate?
So I just wasn't sure whether you were using clear glass or not, or frosted glass. But if you would consider using frosted glass, that would be good. I think the neighbor would be happy with that.
Is this along the rear or the sides? Or the whole perimeter?
It could be around the entire deck, I think.
I don't know what that's going to do for you, really, because if you're on the deck, you're going to be your head's going to be above that frosting anyway.
But if you're seated,
fair.
I don't know. I don't even know if we can enforce that, if it's enforceable or not.
I
Yeah,
think
through
the
you, Mr. Chair.
landscaping and the
I think the
fencing.
best way to kind of maybe help approach that would just be with some soft and landscaping along the fence at the back and
Okay.
sides
All right.
to help with the privacy there.
Mr. Chair, I have a related question to my colleague.
Sure.
Mr. Agent, I have two questions. The first is, can you specifically address the neighbors' concerns, the neighbors that have raised concerns over the 7-bathroom issue? And the second question is related to this question. Have you, or the owner, had a chance to speak with the neighbors on this issue of privacy, whether it's landscaping or otherwise? So 2 questions.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair. We haven't approached the neighbors, but like I said, we're more than willing to address privacy along the fence and the side lot lines at the back. What was the first question? Number of bathrooms?
Some of the neighbors, more than one, have raised the question of why are there 7 bathrooms?
Yeah, so through you, Mr. Chair, yeah, all the bedrooms that are proposed in the house for the family all have washrooms, including the future bedrooms in the basement. They also have bathrooms. So the number of bedrooms all have washrooms, which is why it looks like there's so many bathrooms.
Thank you.
Just a footnote, it's always helpful to approach the neighbors before the hearing. So often a lot of the tension could be resolved, diffused in addressing some of those issues like privacy.
Through you, Mr. Chair, no problem. Next time we'll keep that note. I just didn't expect to have this much opposition, given that we're kind of more or less within the bylaw, and these variances are quite
Understood, but it's a change, and people don't do change well. They do it better when they know when they can get more details on what that change might be. Any other questions?
Question for the agent. Whenever the issue of privacy came up, you said what you could do, what you might do, etc. We don't know what you're going to do. They don't know what you're going to do. Why wasn't that included? It's all well and good to say we could do this, we could do that, but what are you going to do?
Through you, Mr. Chair, so is this something that we need to state in the meeting now? Because I honestly wasn't prepared to. I wasn't aware that this was going to be this many oppositions.
Yeah, again, I'm
here?
just going to echo my thought about approaching the neighbors. When you approach the neighbors, you'll find out pretty quickly whether you're going to have opposition or not. I would just at least want to make a note that you endeavor to process with your neighbors around some of the privacy issues.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair, we'll be more than happy to go on record to state that, and to make sure we collaborate with our adjacent neighbors and the ones next behind us as well.
Thank you.
I guess I have some concern that it's kind of after the fact what you're going to consider doing. The neighbors here have no idea what you're going to do, nor do we really. You've talked about options.
Well, that's why it would be difficult for us to impose conditions now, not knowing what the resolution whether the resolution would be satisfactory or not.
Exactly.
So again, we're just a comment around process. We can't go backwards in time. We can only go forward now.
And certainly, they're more than aware of the neighbors' concerns
Yeah.
after the presentation. So,
And I would just put a word of caution out to the agent and the owner that given that there is this heightened awareness or heightened concern, that as you embark on the building permit process, you would do yourself a favor to do some processing with the neighbors before that, so you don't get complaints on the next stages. Sorry, Ms. Alderson. what were you gonna say?
I just wanted to ask if they were also aware of the transportation conditions.
Yeah, I believe he said he's aware and he's okay with them. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we're okay with those.
Okay. Okay,
If there are no other questions, I'm prepared to make a motion since I have my microphone on.
go ahead.
There is nothing from community planning. We do have some urban forestry conditions as well as transportation conditions, but I'm going to move for approval. Subject to those conditions, urban forestry and transportations, I believe this application is a good one, meets the 4 tests, and so yes, I do move for approval with those conditions.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson. Is there a seconder?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, so the application passes on a split vote, 4-1. Mr. Ross was opposed.
I think your computer has gone to sleep again, though, Mr. Chair.
Sorry?
I think your computer has gone to sleep again, Mr. Chair,
Wow.
as you are no longer on screen.
Okay, but I'm signed in, so I don't know what to do now. Hold on. I see myself here.
Yeah, you're in there.
We'll take a look here.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, thank you to the applicant and the deputants on that item. Yeah.
It's on the URL. It's on the app. Let me just stop it.
It's been acting funny today, quite frankly. I no longer exist.
It's a hologram.
Stop it.
Yeah, stop it.
We know you're here.
Well, I can share in stealth, or someone else can take over. I don't know. I know, but now my photo's gone here as well.
Yeah, see if you can. Yeah, we're gonna start right now.
I'm gonna mute. Like, I'm in panelist mode. I'm not in attendee, right? Okay. Don't know what to suggest.
Do you usually use like the web browser or like the app?
Can you reboot?
I use the browser for, yeah, I usually go through the browser.
Oh, okay, so
Do you want me to come out and go back in again?
Nothing to lose by doing that.
yeah, let's just try that, I guess. Let's just do this. That's it.
The joys of technology.
And do you have the email right here, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's see if it gives me the
Yeah, I went from.
I rejoined.
You broke something again.
Adam's good at put you on.
You got it?
No? Oh, it's connecting still. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's been really slow today. I don't know why.
Apparently, there are some network issues across the city today where internet is slow.
We've got him back.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for the delay.
Talk fast.
Well, I try. But, yeah, let me just find my, my agenda again.
This is Ollerton.
Yeah. Okay, item 13, 9 Ollerton Road. This is an application to construct a one-story front and north side addition. There are 4 variances being requested. There is support from, I believe, 7 letters of support, and the councillor has written in support as well. There are no comments from city departments. Michael is the agent online.
Yes, my name is Michael Purger. Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board.
Good morning,
My
sir.
address.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say my address is 768 Mary Street North. I'm from the design firm MP Design and Associates, and also the acting agent for the owners at 9 Ollerton.
Thank you. I don't think we need a presentation. If you're just open to questions, we'd be happy to do that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any questions from panel members? No? No one else online to speak to this item?
Correct, Mr. Chair.
Perfect. Okay, lucky 13. Back to committee
There's
for...
no one in the room? Were you here for Ollerton? Okay.
No? Okay. So let's take it into committee then.
I'm happy to make a motion for approval. We have a number of form letters of support and the letter of support from the councillors, so, and no objection from any departments. So I'm going to move for approval with no conditions.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson. Seconder?
I'll second that, but for the application as amended.
What's been amended?
Variance number 4.
Yeah, reduces number 4.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Just
yes.
the wording,
Your
yeah.
a friendly amendment, sure. I'll
Okay.
take that.
Other
Okay.
than that, yep, I'll second that.
Thanks, Bill. All in favor? Okay, unanimous approval. Thank you, Michael. Item 14. Okay, item 14 is 63 and 73 Wincombe Hill Boulevard. This is an application to modify the development standards outlined in bylaw 977-2022 as amended by bylaw 144-2023 for the purposes of increasing the number of purpose-built rental units. A total of 406 units will be provided. Are you also the agent for item 15?
Yes.
Are you amenable to dealing with both items as one? And will you require any more than a 5-minute presentation to do both?
I would like, if you would like a presentation, I'd like to present separately on them.
Mr. Chair, before we go any farther, though, can you get your microphone on? Thank you.
Is it on now? Pardon?
No,
Okay.
they're all agents.
Sorry about that.
speakers.
Thank you.
Sorry, and you're Stephanie?
I'm Stephanie, yes.
Okay, so all the other agents are not going to speak then?
Correct.
Okay.
Mr.
And
Chair, for the record, I do have someone on my attendees list for item 15 that I think is an area resident. They're online.
Okay.
But I don't have anyone for item 14, so
14.
maybe we do keep them separate.
we can keep them separate. I don't think we need a presentation for item 15, but I would like one for 14, so let's keep them separate.
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning to all.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention there are 11 variances being requested. Forestry is requesting condition 2, and planning has 3 conditions of approval. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So for the record, my name is Stephanie Quast, planner with BOULEVARD. I am the agent to the owner and the applicant. My address is 3 Church Street, Suite 200. So thank you for having us here today. We are seeking approval for variances related to the addition of purpose-built rental units on this property in Etobicoke. The site is located within 400 meters of a future Eglinton Crosstown West stop along the Eglinton line. I have provided a detailed cover letter going through all of the variances, but I do want to highlight just a few things over the next few minutes. Next slide. So the property you see here, it's identified as the subject site. It's currently occupied by 2 existing 17-story rental apartment buildings, and it has permission for 2 additional rental buildings, which were approved by council in 2022. So the building that we're talking about today is what we call Building B, and that's the 18-story building you see there in between the 2 existing buildings. Next slide. This is simply an image of all 4 buildings on site once the additional 2 are constructed. And again, as I said, this was granted through a 2022 zoning bylaw amendment application. Next. As part of that 2022 approval for the 2 buildings, the owner entered into a Section 37 agreement with the city. And as you see there, the contents of which include that the owner has to provide a $2.2 million cash contribution. They have to secure the existing rental housing as rental tenure for at least 20 years. And they have to allow access to the new amenities for the existing residents. Next slide. So since that 2022 approval, our team has been working through the detailed design of Building B, again, which is that middle building there. And we are looking to make a few minor refinements that will result in 66 more rental units being provided on the site. The opportunity to provide these additional units is really supported by the applicable policy framework, which over the last couple of years has changed significantly for the purposes of enabling more housing to be built, especially rental housing, to address the housing shortage that we currently have. So the variants requested are in the green column there. You'll see that there's no increase to the overall tower height, so the tower will remain at 18 stories. And at the bottom there of that table, the 3 variances in gray are related to the construction period of Building B only. And this is in part due to the fact that the owner would like to accommodate some existing resident parking on site during construction in an effort to minimize any disruption to the existing tenants. Next slide. So this is the revised zoning diagram. You can see the changes that we're requesting to the setbacks and the podium height there highlighted in green. Next slide. And quickly, I just wanted to note that our team has been working on this for over a year now. We have met with the existing tenants, we've met with Councillor Holiday, we've met with city staff, and we've also reached out to our neighbors to the east and to the south. Staff have provided their support on the application. We accept the conditions from urban forestry. Just with respect to the conditions from planning staff, we accept numbers 2 and 3, but regarding number 1, so this morning, planning staff revised the dollar value to $87,833.50, which we accept, and this has been sent to the Deputy Secretary Treasurer. I understand from staff, though, that this has not been uploaded to your system because the email from planning staff came in after 9:30 a.m. this morning. So, should the application be approved, we are asking you to revise the dollar amount in condition 1 to reflect the latest email from planning staff as of this morning. Next slide. And finally, I'll wrap up. I again just want to say thank you for your time. In my opinion, the requested variances meet the 4 tests under the Planning Act. They will facilitate the development of more rental housing in our city, the importance of which has been recognized by every level of government. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a few questions, and I suspect my panel members will as well. Some of these variances refer to during construction. So are we to assume that post-construction that variance will no longer be required?
Through you, Mr. Chair, that is correct.
Okay, so this is really, those are kind of interim issues.
Correct, and I will add, Mr. Chair, that the variance wording itself specifically says during construction. So it is very clear in the zoning regulation that the 3 variances are only for construction.
Okay, that's fair. Some of the parking is being temporarily relocated to the site at 120 WIDDICOMBE. So my question is, why can't the visitor parking be accommodated there?
So through you, Mr. Chair, as we'll get into when we talked about 120, the desire to keep the surface parking area on 120 as small as possible has been a request by planning staff, by urban forestry, and recognized by our team. And so with a smaller surface parking area, we've made it so that we could really just accommodate the number of resident spaces that we need.
But don't you have an excess number of spaces proposed?
No, what we're proposing on 120 in terms of that surface parking will accommodate the existing tenants today. So that's based on their lease
Okay.
agreements.
So
there's no excess.
So is there any visitor parking that will be maintained during construction?
Not during construction.
There'll be no visitor parking.
No visitor parking.
So how do you propose to accommodate visitors?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Well, it's typical of other sites around the city that maybe have very limited visitor parking. There's on-street parking along Widdicombe Hill. There's also on-street parking on the surrounding streets. And residents, the visitors to the residents will have to use that during this time. In the ultimate scenario, when construction is complete, visitor parking is provided in accordance with the bylaw. It's just during this very temporary time.
Which could be up to a year and a half, 2 years.
Could be, yes.
It's not that temporary. Okay.
Yeah.
I also have questions around the reductions in 2 and 3 bedroom units. What is the rationale for that? Because right now, a lot of condos in downtown Toronto are not selling because they are only 1 bedroom units. And you're proposing to reduce the number of multiple bedroom units, which is, I believe, an objective of the housing policy of the City of Toronto.
Through you, Mr. Chair, 100%. It is a large objective that we work with. And so as such, the city has what's called the Growing Up Guidelines. Perhaps you're familiar. And that is a policy document citywide that says new development should have a minimum of 15% 2 bedrooms, 10% 3 bedrooms. If you look at our permission today, we were originally having 45% 2 beds,
okay,
which is significantly more than the 15% citywide. Now we are seeking that to go to 35%, so still exceeding the citywide guideline. And with the 3 bedroom, again, we're seeking a minor change from 13% to 10%, yet still meeting that 10% city guideline.
Okay, just wanted to put that into perspective. Thank you. Questions?
Just a quick question. Is this new asphalt that you're laying down for a parking lot?
Correct, yes.
It is new asphalt. And
Yes.
when that period of time is over, is that going to be taken up?
Yes.
In the interim, could it be permeable pavers?
This is why I wanted to kind of deal with both together.
So sorry, just to be clear, you're referring to the surface parking at 120?
120, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so perhaps I can explain. So yes, new asphalt will be laid down. And upon completion of building B for the construction, that additional surface parking area will be removed. New plantings, new trees.
Okay.
We've submitted those plans. They're all with the city. They've been reviewed by urban forestry. Everyone is well aware of what the plan is.
I was just asking about permeable
worries.
pavers being used instead of asphalt for that period of time, but it's okay.
I would say I'll take that back as a consideration
It's
to
just-
the client
yeah.
team. Yeah, no
We have
problem.
a lot of stormwater runoff in the city, as you know, and anytime we can reduce that, it's a good thing. Okay, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Rick.
You talked about street parking. Is it unfettered, or is it only certain hours, time limits?
Through you, Mr. Chair, along Widdicombe Hill Boulevard, I am not entirely sure, but I do drive along that street and I see cars there many times. So I don't know if it's 24 hours permission, unfortunately.
There's no overnight parking.
Yeah.
Like there's no permit parking. So you're subject to the 3-hour maximum.
And I would say through you, Mr. Chair, that we had met with transportation staff, Mr. Luigi Nicoloci, and he said to us that he wasn't concerned about our lack of visitor during construction. What he really cares about is the resident parking. Because when visitors come to a site, they can take transit, they can maybe take an Uber, they can take a taxi. Visitors have different ways of traveling to and from different properties. It's the residents that we really need to take care of and accommodate, because if we can't provide it at 120, then the alternative is to find a site that could be very far away. Obviously, the client is going to provide a shuttle service for these residents, even at 120, But this really is the most ideal location so that existing residents are not traveling, 20, 30 minutes by shuttle just to retrieve their car for, say, going to work.
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Sure.
Madam Agent, you mentioned as part of your presentation that there is an updated memo from from community planning. I don't know if we've seen that. You mentioned that there's a reduction in the amount payable. The original memo cites 369,000 and so forth.
It's an increase.
Sorry, so what is the new number?
No, it's a decrease. The new number through you, Mr. Chair, is $87,833.50.
Don't forget the 50.
Can we confirm that from the Secretary
So
Treasurer?
they sent an email this morning, which is late. I asked them to come in person. They came and they left. So I don't know why they didn't stay to address the committee to provide you with that information.
So, Mr. Chair, if that were a condition, it would have to be the most current
Well, I think
calculation?
Do you know why planning left?
Yes, I can explain. So we received planning's report. I believe it was uploaded to the AIC on Tuesday this
No,
week.
but why did they leave? Because they did.
Oh, why did they leave? I have no idea. But I did talk to them outside. I know they're upstairs.
I know, but I asked them to come and address their comments because.
I'm sorry, I don't know why.
Do you know, Madam Agent, do you know why there was a reduction?
Yes, the calculation changed. So we agreed on a different calculation based on current community benefit charges.
As opposed to Section 37.
As opposed to Section 37, because that's the current regime that planning applications work within. So that's the reason. And it's all documented between city legal, our legal team, and our team and the planning staff. So it's all on paper record. It's just unfortunately it was sent after 9:30 this morning. So that's why
Planning
you don't have
is
it.
here. They can address you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that would be actually helpful, given that we impose conditions on applicants that they cannot bring stuff in last minute. We shouldn't be encouraging our own staff to do the same.
So my name is Daniel Kolominski. I'm currently an acting senior planner in community planning. I would like to confirm that discussions have occurred with the applicant quite to the last minute, but extensive discussions have happened, and the dollar amount that has been put forward is what community planning is agreeable to. So for clarification, community planning supports that revised amount to condition number 1.
Okay, and there's no changes to the other parts of the conditions?
No other changes.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
I see the email now on this screen.
Talked about, there's also a change in the number of units.
Yes.
How are you doing that?
Right. Through you, Mr. Chair. So we are asking today for permission for 66 more units on the site. As I said, within Building B, we have not raised the height, but we have in fact made other modifications to the built form to accommodate these units. So one of which is, and I'm not sure if pulling up the presentation would be helpful. For instance, our podium, it's approved at 4 stories and 6 stories. We've taken elements of the podium and raised it from 6 to 8. So the 4 stories at the south end remains, which is adjacent to the townhouses to our south. We did not want to interfere with that condition at all. But you can see here at the WIDDICOMBE hill frontage, the podium has slightly, or a portion of it has increased to 8 stories. So that's one change that we made. And then the other changes, again, it's a bit hard to see in the image, but within the podium bay, so say it's a bit of a T shape, so the longer part of it, we have expanded the length of the podium by adding 1 additional bay, so 6.5 meters. And that also allowed us to get a few more units. And really the planning justification for these changes is the fact that, maybe you can go to the next slide there. This building has very expansive, generous setbacks to Whitcomb Hill Boulevard. A typical front yard setback for an apartment building is, say, 6 meters. We have, as you can see there, it's hard to see, I believe it's over 20 meters to our street frontage. So through planning staff, we all collectively agreed that because we already have really, really generous setbacks, it was appropriate from a planning point of view to allow a little bit more of the building to come forward while still really giving that 20-meter front yard setback.
Okay, any more questions? We're good? And there are no other speakers?
For this file, correct.
Thank you. Let's take it into committee then. So we have essentially a revised planning conditions.
Yeah, so
And
with that,
forestry is also requesting a condition.
oops. Oh, God. Thank you.
So to clarify, the new amount would be $87,833.50.
Yep.
Make sure you don't lose the 50 cents.
So with that, I'd like to move a motion for approval. I do believe the application meets the 4 tests subject to the Environment, Climate, Forestry November 14th memo and the revised conditions contained in the November 13th planning memo, specifically condition number 1, which, as Barb noted, is now being changed to $87,833.50.
But the other conditions stay the same?
Yes, they do.
Yep.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dalton. Seconder?
I'll second that motion.
Thanks, Laura. All in favor? Opposed? Sorry, you in favor or opposed?
In favor.
Oh, you're in favor. Okay, so we have unanimous approval. Thank you.
My picture's on the screen, you can see it. Yeah.
There was also a forestry condition.
Forestry condition 2.
Yeah, I said
Okay.
Environment,
Right.
Climate, and Forestry.
As
They keep changing their name.
No worries. Okay, I think we're back with the same applicant for the next item, item 15, 120 Widdicombe Hill Boulevard, to permit a temporary surface parking lot. I'm not going to ask you for a presentation because I think we know what it's about. If there's anything you'd like to say prior to, I believe there is another deputant, so.
Maybe I'll just make one comment through you, Mr. Chair. And again, for the record, Stephanie Quast, 3 Church Street, Suite 200. As we've just discussed, this temporary parking lot we're proposing, it is temporary. It is, we have submitted a a landscape and planting plan to show how when it's torn up again after construction, it'll all be, in accordance with city standards, trees, planting, and so on. And again, the parking for the existing tenants today of 120 Widdicombe will not be impacted. They have underground parking, no change, and they also have a bit of surface parking. Those parking spaces all remain. So we've really looked at this from a lens of making sure that those existing tenants do not experience any undue impacts. And really the hope is that through the approval, the existing tenants at 63 and 73 can be conveniently provided access to, safe and close by parking during this construction period. So I'll leave it at that.
Is it same ownership for both sites?
It's the same ownership umbrella, just 2 separate company names. But yes, that's why we can make this work.
Okay, and is there visitor parking at 120?
Well, there's visitor parking at 120 for the 120 residents, but we're not seeking visitor parking.
I understand that, but I'm just, is there a way, how would you prevent someone from coming to 63 using the visitor parking at 120?
Well, through you, Mr. Chair, and I have my client here if he wants to talk about the operations of it all, but because these are leased, with 6373, because they have lease agreements for their parking spaces, that cannot be disrupted. So the parking that they will have at 120, it will be maybe numbered, it'll be assigned, there will have to be some operation system.
But you're talking about resident parking, and I'm referring to visitor parking.
But there won't be any visitor. There will be signage that says no visitor parking.
But there is visitor parking for 120 Widdicombe
Yes,
Hill, is there not?
yes. That's not changing.
Okay, but how is that restricted to 120?
Well, I assume there's signage.
Okay, anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for now.
Okay. And property managers on site. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions or, okay, so there is another speaker, so I'm going to have them.
Yes, thank you.
The speaker is Ava Majak. Ava, go ahead.
Yes, Good morning, still morning.
Good morning. Can we
Mr.
get,
Chair and committee members, my name is Adam Jacques. I live at 120 Widdicombe Hill Boulevard. I live in this area for 25 years, and if you would allow me to give you a little story of this area. Since I moved in year 2000, the area is in constant development. It started 2001 with changing of all balconies, which caused lots of noise, dirt, and disturbance. And then starting 2014, we had non-stop development with home units, townhomes. First one set of townhomes that lasted 2 years, then another set of townhomes that lasted another 2 years. Then we had 3.5 years of garage renovation only in our building. It is unheard of to renovate garage for 3.5 years, which lasted from 2020 to 2023. Then we had roof replacement, 2024. Then I have to describe a little bit. The building 120 is like a self-standing building on the west side of Widdicombe, and directly to the west of this building we have Etobicoke water reservoir. It is supporting water.
excuse me, before you run out of time, can you tell us what your concern is with the proposal for the parking lot?
Yes. There are few concerns. Concern is that between the water reservoir and our building, we have hills. These hills are at least 20 feet high. The hills have old trees, 65-year-old trees. Now, if something would happen to the water reservoir, this is like a protective wall that the whole water doesn't flood the building garage immediately. Then the trees are 65-year-old, which are really precious trees. And when we had garage renovation, they already removed 37 trees in the property.
Okay, so what is your concern? Because you're kind of spinning a nice story in history, but we'd like to get to...
My concern is that the area is very congested. There is a traffic issue. We have accidents every week on Widdicombe and Eglinton and Eglinton and Martin Grove, bringing more cars, bringing more people will create this area not safe, and it will be more noise and disturbance. Also, this building is surrounded with soccer fields, and bringing more cars also will destroy the clean environment that we have temporarily. So I spoke to many tenants from my buildings, and they reflect my opinion as well. I'm surprised no more letters were submitted.
Okay, can you say what it is that you're objecting to? Are you objecting to the temporary parking lot, to the new buildings? Like what is it that you're trying to say?
Well, it's all in one. New buildings, yes, I'm objecting to new buildings, but I live in 120, which is directly affected by temporary parking, and it is temporary. And for me to bulldoze the hills in order to put the asphalt surface and then promise to reverse it to grassy area, it's crazy. When we
Okay,
had
okay, you know,
when we had garage
no,
doors,
thank you very much. Okay, I think you've made your point. That's what I wanted to understand. What was your point? We do try to keep it to a time limit of 5 minutes. We've gone beyond your 5 minutes now. So I'm going to ask the presenter or the applicant to try to address your issue. Thank you. Any questions from panel members? No. So the hills that are going to be removed, are they part of the water utility property, or are they part of your property? I don't know.
Through you, Mr. Chair, the hills or the mounds that she's referring to are on our property, and they're really a natural condition that resulted from the construction of the underground, 40, 50 years ago. So yes, that area will have to be leveled out for the surface parking lot, but we have submitted to the city the stormwater management letters and reports, and the surface parking will have the appropriate infiltration system, the catch basins, to deal with stormwater management. Obviously, this is something that engineering staff are concerned about as well, as is our engineering consultant. So we've addressed the stormwater management issue with the surface parking.
And have you proposed a new site plan for post-temporary parking?
Yes, that's through you, Mr. Chair. That's the landscape plan and the planting plans that have all gone to the city and been signed off of or urban forestry staff agree with what we've submitted in the proposed plantings. We will be putting back the current ratio for tree replacement is 3 to 1. So for every tree we have to remove, we put 3 back. So in total, there'll be 45 new trees planted in this particular area when the temporary lot is gone. And the species and everything have been discussed with staff.
Thank you. And forestry is requesting condition 2 on this application, so obviously you're going to go through them for
the permits. Yes.
The permits for every tree that's to be removed.
Yes, we agree.
Thank you. Any questions? No. Okay.
Thank you.
Parking lot, you said the asphalt's going to be ripped up and replaced. What is it being replaced with?
That's what the landscaping plan.
Sod, planting, it'll all be green again. No more asphalt. Thank you.
Has the city requested a deposit from you with regards to implementing the landscape plan after?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair. So we have to pay fees for the tree removal. In terms of the deposit for the landscaping, no, but that would be secured through the application, through the plans that get filed. So the property would be registered with these plans, and the owner would be mandated to essentially restore it back to its original condition.
Okay, because often in these kind of situations, a deposit is requested to ensure that the owner actually fulfills the landscaping plan. So
that hasn't been brought up by staff, no.
So normally that's to secure landscaping, that's part of the proposal?
Yeah.
They're not proposing landscaping as part of this proposal.
At this time.
I understand, but it's kind of like wiggling out of it. Okay.
Besides, they look trustworthy.
That's what you're going to base it on?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So back to committee. So we have the proposal for the temporary parking lot.
Yeah. So with that, again, I'd move a motion for approval, as I believe the application meets the 4 tests, subject to the Environment, Climate, and Forestry memo dated November 14th, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton.
I second that motion.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson. All in favor? Opposed?
No, I'm in favor.
You're in favor. Okay, you're just slow. Okay. So that's unanimous approval. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so on to item 16. 42 ELSFIELD Road. This is an application to construct a two-story rear addition and a new rear deck. There are 5 variances being requested. I have no city department comments on this file. And the applicant is Ashley Carter.
Hi, good morning, committee members. My name is Ash Carter from ASC Studio, 1097 Royal York Road, representing the homeowners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're still in the morning. Not by much, but
yeah, squeaking in there.
Anyway,
this is a fairly straightforward application.
Yep.
Not sure if you.
I don't think we don't need a full presentation unless you're really itching to do one.
No.
Okay. So if you could give us just some really brief highlights and then open it to questions.
Sure. It's a modest rear addition and just a small extension of the roof line to accommodate a second floor without having to underpin the basement.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question. The original notice that went out had 3 variances. The applicant revision notice has 5 variances.
Yeah.
So
tell me about that.
Because we're extending the roof just a small amount. There is a gable on the side yard that currently exists that causes some issues upon building permit application, and so I took that back to the zoning examiner, and they agreed that that should be added to the variances being applied for. And along with that came the eaves extension into the side yard as well. We're very tight on the side yard setbacks.
And was that circulated as well to the neighborhood?
Yes, it was.
It was, okay.
Yeah.
If no one else has any questions, I'm prepared to make a motion. I think this application meets the 4 tests under the Planning Act. It's certainly desirable, and I move for approval with no conditions.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson. Is there a seconder?
I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Popovic. All in favor? Okay, unanimous approval. Thank you, Ash.
Thank you.
Okay, item 17, 14 TETTENHALL Road. This is an application to construct a 1-story front addition, a covered front porch, and a covered deck in the rear yard. There are 4 variances being requested. Forestry is requesting condition 2. Metrolinx has advisory comments, and that's all we got. And same agent.
Hi.
Hey,
Again.
welcome back.
Again, this is Ash Carter, ASC Studio.
And I think this one is equally straightforward. So if
Yes, modest front addition this time with, again, adjustments to the roof line to accommodate.
Okay. How do you pronounce the name of the street?
TETTENHALL, yeah, you got it right.
Okay. Any questions? No? Okay. Let's take it into committee.
So with that, I'd move a motion for approval. Again, application is very straightforward, meets the 4 tests, subject to the Environment, Climate, and Forestry memo dated November 14th, 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. Seconder.
I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Popovic. All in favor? Okay, unanimous approval again. Thank you again, Ash.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Item 18, 102 Treelawn Parkway. This is an application to maintain the existing as-built detached garage. There is 1 variance being requested. It is with regards to the height. We have a previous Committee of Adjustment approval, and that's all we got. Agent is Marcus online.
Hello, good morning. Marcus Gagliardi from 74 Monterey Road in Vaughan.
Okay, hello? Can't hear
Yes,
you.
hello, sir. Hello.
We can hear you, Marcus. It's just a little muted, or maybe you're distant from the microphone, perhaps.
Okay, yeah, I'm speaking right into it. Can you hear me now?
Wonderful.
Perfect.
That's great. Sorry about that, sir.
No worries.
Marcus Gagliardi, 74 Monterey Road.
I don't think we need a full application on this. I think we understand the situation.
Sure.
It's, I mean, I believe it backs onto a railway line, does it?
That's correct. It backs onto the Metrolinx rail line.
Yeah, so you're actually doing the community a bit of a favor with a nice buffer, in my opinion.
A little bit of noise mitigation for the neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah. Looks good. You have there's no one complaining. I'm assuming there's no one online.
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Any questions from panel members? No? Okay.
Can I move into the second floor of that garage?
Yeah. Looks
It's
good,
very
too.
attractive.
Yeah.
It might trigger another variance. It might trigger another variance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I think it would. Well, if no one has any other questions or concerns, I'm prepared to make a motion. I think this is very desirable, and I move for approval with no conditions.
Perfect. Seconder. Mr. Ross, all in favor? Okay, unanimous approval. Thank you, Marcus. Okay, item 19, which I believe is our last item for the morning, and we might even make it in time for the morning. 15 ABILENE Drive. This is an application to cover the existing rear patio. There is one variance being requested, which is lot coverage. Angus, welcome.
Thank you. Angus Skeen, the architect and agent, 39 Blakely Avenue. It is one variance. I'm happy to answer questions or make a presentation. I leave it to the committee.
I don't think we need a presentation. It's a pretty straightforward application. We understand the issue. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So the variance you're seeking is an increase from 33%, which is the 296.03, and going to 41.7. So that comes to a 78.03 square meter increase.
Actually, I think the way to understand it is the existing house came through Committee of Adjustment in 2008. I believe it's a 2009 decision. So the existing house already exceeds coverage. So it's not that this trellis sets it off.
So you're adding some existing.
We're adding about 550 square feet to the house with the trellis.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah, that's how that
wanted to
works.
clarify.
Yeah, because that would be kind of a lot.
Yep.
The way you calculate it. Yeah. It's not that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you for that. Any other questions? If not, are we ready for a decision?
Yeah, so with that, I'll move a motion for approval. I believe the application meets the 4 tests, and there are no conditions.
Thank you, Bill. Seconder? Ross? Rick Ross. All in favor?
Not the wrapper.
Not the wrapper, okay. Unanimous approval.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angus. And that concludes our morning session. In the morning.
At 11:54.
Wow.
Wow.